Sosuun and Kenrazy. We had Kenrazy on the show. I think it was like two or 3 weeks ago. And he never mentioned it. He actually made it sound like they were still together. Things were moving on nicely. He talked about how he would like to do more for his wife and spoke about her in very good light. However, Sosuun went on a radio interview and actually confirmed that they have been broken up for a hot minute. She says things have been good. They've been together for over 10 years. They have 2 children together, 2 daughters together, but it got to some point where things were not actually okay, you know? And I'll echo the same sentiment Murugi Muni had, and it's like the same thing Sosuun was playing into. They just couldn't be together in a respectable way, and I understand that. However, when people were pressing for the tea, what really happened, what actually led to the two of you splitting up, she was very vague about it. She just said, we just were not a good match, you know. After a while of being together, things were just not working out, and we decided to just live separately. And we're like, you didn't give us the tea. You just didn't give us the tea. But I feel like it's one of those situations where somebody just needed space, you know. They just need a little bit of time to woosa. They don't strike me as those toxic couples, because she even went further to say that kitu ambacho siwezi kukifanya ni kumzungumzia vibaya kumhusu Kenrazy, ni baba kwa watoto wangu, ni mwanaume mzuri na pia ni mtu mwenye heshima sana. Tunaheshimiana na akona vizuri katika masuala ya kunisaidia na malezi. So co-parenting is going on smoothly. We have not seen any drama. Kenrazy was actually dropping a project recently. He could have used his whole separation from Sosuun as kiki, you know, to garner views or do something, but he didn't. So I'm thinking it's one of those, you know, respectable, I need some space. I think they're gonna get back together. I don't know, but I hope for the best, you know. I hope they find happiness, whether with each other or without.
I think I like about, there's a certain age of celebrities who, even if they are going through like the worst times with their partners, they're not going to drag them through the mud. True. And we had yet another celebrity on the show, and when we were talking to him casually, he did mention a few other things about his marital status that maybe are not looking the best. However, he was very persistent on the fact that he did not want this to be his story. He did not want to throw his wife under the bus, you know, the mother of his children under the bus. He would rather focus on what is actually working for him, which is his music and his musical talent. So there's an age, if we go back a few years, I think we go back, what, 2012 backwards, 2014 backwards, there's an age of celebrities who actually know how to operate in decorum. Keep your private life private. Only let us into, or let us be privy of what you are able to control, the stories that you are able to manage that actually are about yourself. And I think that age of just maturity, I think, is very important, because oftentimes once you give us the information, half-baked stories, half-baked truths, one-sided stories, one side of a coin, only one person's, we are all biased, obviously, based on the story that you tell us, right? And then later on, you come back together and be like, babes, if it was that bad and you're going back,
why are you together?
You know, we've seen this happening, especially with Nairo Faye and Euphorian, who obviously, from the stories that she was giving us, it sounded like a horrible relationship. It really like sounded gruesome. It sounded very eek. And yet, she's very quick to go back to the guy. And you're like, babe,
he's a good man, Savannah.
How is it possible you're buying your own flowers and you want to go back to that ghetto? You know, how is it possible that you were lying about many things but you want to go back to that mess? How is it possible that this man lied about so many things, including his career, and you still want to go back? What is the truth that you didn't tell us? What is this that is about this man that is so attractive that you still, even with all the suffering that you clearly went through, or at least you told us, you still want to go back? Do you get what I mean? So please, 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 as you've said many times over, if you're not too sure about this relationship and where it's going, if you're not too sure about this breakup and where it's going, try and minimize the publicity of it until you figured out the direction in which you are going. Oftentimes, you'll find that you'll end up going back. And if there's not that much publicity about it, it will be so much easier for you to ease into it, you know? It will be so much easier for you to get back along with it, right? Same way, if you still don't want to talk about the situation. For instance, Vera and Brown Mauzo. If you still don't want to tell us that you're about to break up with this man, you don't have to have a whole smear campaign months ahead of time.
True.
You can just live your life, do what you want to do. If you want to leave them, leave them. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, again, to each their own.
I've actually said this before. When it comes to you and your partner, relationship ya watu wawili, watu nalala kwa duve moja, keep it like that, because you are bound to at some point forgive this man. You know, you'll forgive your partner. You have a history. You've been together what, 6-10 years. Of course, you're going to see the good side. But when you are narrating to your friends, in the heat of the moment, you are telling them all these horrible, bad things. So when you forgive him, your friend is just looking at you like you're mad. You're like, why did you go back to him? What is happening? And that's the thing. You come to the internet and you tell us all these stories about this man. We root for you because we love you. And then you get back together and you're like, what is happening? Are you dumb? Are you
And
mad?
we'll never see this person in any other way.
Exactly. We'll
see them as the monster that you showed us.
They hurt you.
Yes.
They made you cry. So of course I'm mad at him. Yeah.
And then unfortunately your friends are your closest people. So every time you hang out with them, they'll always say something negative about this person. So you're always, do you get what I mean?
Something.
Just
keep your mouth shut, okay? Journal. Go to a priest and confess. Just don't tell everybody your business and then be mad when we're looking at you different, you know?